Brother Currie, you say and stop the Prime Minister from sending the soldier them to fix the citizens' house. After the people them and him a Jamaica PM.
Me hear you, brethren. I just want the peace keep.
Them money there for men up the
Let
place.
people get
Marks when the bus them go round here, so around there, so. People them not St. James. You know them a ball for the bus. And them same one that I talk about the bus are going to
alright, you know, they could have bought the bus a little more, you know.
But the thing is, you know, with Andrew, you know, Andrew is there to govern the country. He's not there to govern one set of people. He's not in that kind of thing. So the care where we are a lot of us on the platform, them are going to say, I say, boy, Andrew for do this and him not for do that. No, we know what we can say, because we grieve to know how them are deal with the man. But Andrew is not there for that. The people them never vote him in for that. So him have to govern. You understand? And that's what he's gonna do. Even though he hear Currie run out. Boy, we don't want nothing, we don't want help from him.
can't stop nothing.
A fool that. Because he can't stop Andrew for go help the people them down there when they need help. So they care what him want to say. You understand? Him no want the soldier them. One thing I will come down to come and out the food.
No, well, I
Him can't stop the soldier them.
If you say soldier, them are going to find it, man.
Him can't stop the soldier them from going down there. That's their job. Once them get the order from the Prime Minister, them have to do them job. Him can't stop them. You understand? Them say him no want them round there, walk round. But him can't stop them either. You understand? There's nothing him can do to stop these people. Because him own people.
They have no teeth, because soldier are going to lick out them teeth, them up there.
No. If them can't go on and protest the soldier, them enough. If them go on and protest, them go and get what they don't get enough. Okay.
They can't stop that, brother. I'm chatting. They can't stop Let him go on, man. So get him business fixed. Because of the street and trees, them are committing, you know.
Yeah, stop that.
Get the state, you know. Hold on. Wayne Bryan. Hello, Wayne Bryan. Hello, Wayne. Yo, Wayne Bryan, answer him, brother. You pose up my back so you're not talk, brother. Girls, what's going on? Good night.
Good night. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm alright. How are you?
I'm doing all right, I guess. I shouldn't say I guess. I'm all right. But I'm listening to you guys. But don't you really think that there is an organized thing going on right now where you have like, okay, so say for example, the poor people living in Jamaica, whether or not they live in the rural area
What is it? Coming at the box, how is it?
or in the urban area, but you know, you have most poor people say they have a phone, and yes, they can do a couple of videos, they can maybe upload it, they maybe can have a commentation about it, but the broader the broader platform where people literally get up every day and that's their job, and they're reaching more people and just saying the most outlandish thing about the Prime Minister. That's a more organized thing going on. So when you talk about the comments that is being made and the way people are behaving about the Prime Minister, and when we talk about it like said, all the people them, not really the people them. There's a organization here that is making concerted effort to make sure that this continue. And if you hear people saying it, if they're just saying it in their community, you hear it in Jamaica. However, whoever is doing it is doing it. Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you, but see, right now everybody that want this one bag of propaganda machine, you know.
I understand.
I look, you know, sorry, me not mean to
Okay,
cut you,
no, let me finish, please.
Hold on, make sure that go on. Hold on.
The point that I'm trying to make is that whether or not they're being paid or they're doing it voluntarily, they're not the source. Okay, they're not the source. Their voice don't reach the distance to where people like me, where I am, can hear the whole thing going on. Okay, so when I believe that when it is mentioned that the people them, when you use that word, it's like you're absolving the person who's starting it and the person who is keep promoting it and the person who keep supporting it or maintaining it. You understand me? So I believe that it's the if we're gonna talk about what is being said about the prime minister and how the prime minister name is being dragged through the mud and all the crazy shit that people are saying, then they have to mention the source. Who is promoting this? Where is this coming from? And who is benefiting from all of this crazy?
Well, we know already.
Yes, so that's the person name that needs to be called. That's the person you need to talk about. And in this interim, there is actually, it's the opposition party of the in Jamaica that is doing this.
Yeah.
You understand me? You maybe can't call the specific person, but they all belong to the same party, and the party is supporting them. You understand? They're giving them the platform. You understand? And that is the reason why they're behaving like this. But I just felt like if they just mention like the people them, it would sound more like I said the poor people them in Jamaica is in a poor. I'm not saying that some of them is not doing it, but they don't have the platform to create the kind of buzz that is going on.
No, man. Right.
And they're not really the beneficiary to this either, because this is happening because they're hoping to topple the government, where people lose faith in him, and then he has to resign so they can take over.
Yeah.
So that's the point that I'm trying to make.
All right, girlsy. Hold it, there's a little girlsy. Oh, what? Wait a second now.
It's a whole propaganda machine. Like where girls are saying somebody started from the top and then they trickle it down at the bottom. So now the platform where girls are talk, platform is like Facebook, Twitter, platform, TikTok, and then something there, where them promote them propaganda. You know what I'm saying? So the more people, and then it starts, because say you have people who love them reggae artists and so, right? So people, so you just be a reggae artist because of certain things and say this and that one, And what if people die hard fan, come out and support that the movement there, and then all you need is one man to tell 10 man and 10 man tell 20, and 20 tell 40, And so things start, As some propaganda start, everybody start pre-propaganda. You see me, I love me, because you see all I think when me I see all I think when me I hear honest. Not one time, not one time I stray away from my show side of things, because I love my show them, what I say? And just that. I see like how me get your book today. Well, yo, when dread and terrible in this year, when we read it in our book.
Another thing too, the opposition party, they have a lot of bloggers all over the place. They don't have to get up and go to work. That's their job. They get paid to do that. You understand? And they're out there pushing the propaganda. They brought up they're constantly bringing up, it's like they manufacture things and they put it out there. And nobody, it's not like I said, nobody is saying you can't, but it might seem like it's the people them doing it. But the people with the power are the loudest voice or access to spreading information. It's a very small group, and they're being successful at it because the people who are supposed to get held responsible for this is not being addressed with them. I think it's Stacey and...
Hold on, girls. Hold on there a minute. Stacey. Hello, Stacey.
Yeah, hello.
Stacey, something you have nice in your background, man.
To the outside, man.
No, the TV.
You turn on your TV now, man. We can't have TV and play on it. Go on.
Nothing, may I say? What have you, Derval? I can't do something about Derval.
Derval and a smarty.
Shit in a place, I big dirty mama son, she had them big old arm.
Them man nobody. When I need to act on
Big
them.
old
See,
what arm. She had them big pig, a foreign, now do nothing, now contribute. Every day.
When you say while I go squiddy, we no hear you.
Mama son, mama hug, and some piglet run up on me thing one night, yeah.
Yeah, me see them, me see the craft night them.
Yeah, run on, like a grandma with you. Run on.
And them a behave like say PNP is PNP a rob and thief and liar and wicked. Me now forgot when my mother used to send me a shop and the man tell me say the flower and married. Could they get the flower for my mother look after for go school? Yep. PJ sell out everything. So I know where them a come up. PNP a thief and robber. Me not like PNP from money. Me not like them. I never like them.
Them own money, them things.
Oh, people nasty party.
They can't find 30 million US.
A criminal them. You see them a
Say, I'm
behave
on
and
them
them
comment.
attack.
Ask about that.
Squitty, you know, say I'm on them
And
like a
shit
comment.
up Derval. Derval a behave like PNP or somebody. PNP or somebody.
Eh.
Boy, Mark Francis take a kick you out of your eye and boot in your face and come off of this. Or find something to man. What about PMP? Yeah. Before.
Hungry them hungry. You can imagine if
You know for waste the time.
I'm not start saying it enough. Got suck your mother too with that. Oh.
send him up in his mother well.
Seriously, you know for waste your time and listen. You know for waste your time and listen to Derval. Where I
I
go,
put me one but Derval, me and him at it a road.
Mala Lulu, you can't even say Mala, you can't call nobody name properly.
No, to them they pan the woman upon road. Bobsy Green, me sorry me ignorant that me just a comment and him now answer me comment.
Babsy Green.
He ain't depend the woman to the share murder on Andrew Wallace a step down the eight with Paul Bucket and the people them for come out. So me text pan him group and say come out for what? For what we for come out for?
Of course, they come out. Of course, they come out and go in a garbage truck. But go line up
Same,
some
yeah.
the whole of
Same.
them go River Town, go left them.
Derval need to get discipline. If you stop go on so with them, if you ever see where him live and that even Andrew Wallace, all the time Andrew Wallace member them and when him a go use him latrine.
Them can't do Andrew nothing, man. Attack them attack.
And they saw the country that Europe.
Election done and Andrew winning now. Them
Aye,
can't
look
stop
here now.
them. They
Look
can't
here now,
stop
Smithy.
them.
Look here now, Smithy. Around the rear cover, we're going to throw them in them bathing suit, you know. Yeah.
Ah, man, a River
There's
Town.
a woman, him for go and law the prime minister, but like him and the prime minister's side. Him for law the man and come off of the man and ease up off of the man. With him out that say like him can walk in a Andrew so Derval can't talk, him mama give him too much liver.
It's not a thing. Oh my God.
Too much liver.
Yeah, every dog in tongue so he can't talk good and mother him to go court. And him father. And I take the set for Andrew. Andrew mother grow him good, Andrew can speak. You ever hear any matter? You ever hear any matter when his mother couldn't give kidney instead of liver? Lady, please tell me where liver do. Miss Lady, please. Derval, mama give too much feeding pan, too much liver, same tongue, every can't talk. What is the side effects of liver? Please give me the side effects.
I don't know.
I want classy man, but you not answer like me. Man, the big cow where they are far when your mama son, we favor them antenna when clap up spin and it can't stop.
Oh my goodness.
I like PNP. I would never give PNP my vote. You man? I don't know where to kill me and Andrew. Right now, Andrew is for my vote. Before the last where I will keep. Year before last, Andrew is the my phone screen and it now come off. and it will never come off.
My goodness. I didn't even know that liver was a thing.
Mama had nose big like our feet, but they were pretty a driving now.
Mama son have 2-in-1 belly. Belly a back and belly a front. You know why fear woman never put her in a nappy instead of pampers. And them mother them figure coat so them mother shape them mad.
You know, see, she have party one day and she have to tie up a gut. She tie up a gut.
Big like I'm sure enough I could have fibers him have. Mama son have AIDS.
No, she doesn't have it.
Oh, you know that.
She have it. She have it. That's why she run with her foreign.
No.
I'm gonna go kill her.
No.
Well,
She maybe
well,
have.
some inspiration. Hold on a minute. Inspiration. What happened, brother?
Oh my goodness.
Inspiration.
Mama had coming like, it look like paper. Dennis Rodman a bumbo clot.
Inspiration.
Maybe has an hernia.
Inspiration.
Shift or home shift.
Inspiration.
Roll it for man, them a she take.
Maybe have an hernia.
Go on, brother.
Good. I heard that the live is somewhat disturbed.
Come on, and get with this table. Come on, PMP.
Oh boy! But I heard they went down to Westmoreland, and they met with the people, and they were trying to produce a plan that they might have for them for the future. And the people erupt, saying that they're not buying into the plan, they'll prefer to protest instead of moving from their condition.
What kind of plan?
Something I heard the minister went there today. I heard it on Nationwide. I didn't get all the full details, but he said they went there and they met with the people, and apparently some of them may have to relocate from their current position. And they were so disappointed that they would decide to protest and all the rest of it before they move. They don't want to leave their area. Apparently, it must have involved them relocating, because some of their homes are in places that are unsafe.
And the vote, because when they relocate, they vote.
Exactly.
What vote, the MP, them, why they don't want the people them more.
That's right. So they want none of it. None of it. People are not to buy into it.
Another alone, Andrew now he's to go build up squatters land back,
You see what happened is these conditions were brought on by the PMP for years. And what successive government have done, they have ignored the plight of the people by watching vote, and have failed to do the hard job by getting them out of those situations. And now it becomes apparent that they have to leave. And it's gonna be like a fight to get these people out of their comfort zone. But can we have them in there, and the next 3-4 years a same disaster come, and you give them money to rebuild and give zinc and all that nonsense? Something has to be done.
Well, is the Prime Minister decision?
Because the Prime Minister doesn't want them to stay there, so because of different
inspiration.
Is the decision of the Prime Minister to move them? Because look, in every country or every area that you have certain type of disaster, especially when it have to do with the levee breach, or the area is susceptible to flooding and it always destroying homes, and any kind of strong wind and all of that, they have to be relocated, and it is their right to protest. However, the Prime Minister is still going to make a decision at the end of the day what is best for them and for what the country, because if he sat back and let them continue to go back, and every time there is a hurricane like the one that just passed, a whole bunch of people dying again, and he may not be in office or somebody else is in there, it's going to be the same thing repeating itself all over again. So it's not a prerogative of his, but it's in the safety of the people and the country itself. You have to move them, and people get relocated all the time.
I do believe that the government have the right for the security of the nation in every sense of the word.
Yeah. Well, like I
And
said,
they
it's
secure their living,
Inspiration.
secure their whatever it is.
Inspiration.
And we would need to act and make that move.
Inspiration. If the Prime Minister already put enough information for people to evacuate certain places and to seek certain refuge, certain other areas other than outside of the danger that's about to come. What that tell you? Some people say, "Oh no, say me nah left ya, me nah left ya," and then look at me nah left ya seat there, nothing to them there's something there. So if the Prime Minister is like our flesh we're spoken in is like a word spoken in our flesh, Is a man tell you enough things, and you say, no, but you have to see for yourself. You say, all right, man, I have to do this, I deemed it, I say. Words shouldn't take out to themselves flesh in enough cases, you know what I say?
Yeah, well, another thing too, I believe that, okay, for example, all of these people are going to need housing. And the housing that the Prime Minister spoke about, which is they call the new housing, the prefab houses that he talks about. I believe that there is enough land. I didn't even know that there was so much of Jamaica that was not occupied until during the election when he was going around the country and driving through certain parishes, and the amount of land that is unoccupied was ridiculous. And people are still living in areas that is so dangerous for them and their family. They end up losing everything ever so often because the land is susceptible to all different type of disaster. However, the prefab houses that is coming in, if he establish a new community and there can be a home for everybody, but right now there's a ringleader, and while the topic is hot, everybody's still trying to hold things together. And I don't believe that the people who support the PNP, they never learn anything new. Because at some point, all of these people have children. They have family, whether or not they're old or young. They have to make decisions for them that can better their lives. And if they're just going to sit back because they're trying to be a good soldier, they're a foot soldier to people who are already established and have a decent home. If the storm should come back again, the same people who are being the ringleader, they don't have to live there. They have somewhere to go, and they're more secure because they're not going to build their house down there. Okay, so they have to make a decision. Okay, at some point. And that's why I said I'm not going to use the word prerogative to saying this is the Prime Minister prerogative, but it is his duty as Prime Minister of the country to make the best choice that is best for the nation. And I believe eventually he will establish a new community, and the house is going to be there. So you want somewhere to live, that's the new community, because it doesn't make sense you build something that's going to happen again. It could be, you're saying that next 4 years, it could be in the next couple of weeks, or because we're still in hurricane season, no? Or it's past?
Hurricane finish, the season passed.
Right. Okay, so we're back on for next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll let this girl say. Wayne Bryan. Hello, Wayne. Unmute your mic, brother. Wayne, touch your picture and touch your mic. Let me take all this, brother. Some are going with the live. I don't know why the people them drop out. Them come in and drop out back same time. 87. 87.
Wagwan Skitty, wagwan everybody. Night.
Wagwan, my brother.
There, see I put in the work and I'm proud of you.
Yeah, man, I put in the work, man.
You learn fast. You learn.
Yeah, man.
And this year be creative too, because you see, the way we advertise your book, great marketing skill.
Advertise the book in New York.
Great marketing skill, but continue the good work.
Yeah, man. Let's put in New York and sell my book.
Yes, sir.
Smitty, you say you used to live in New York?
No live, me used to visit over there.
Okay.
You spend a couple months, like 5 months and thing. In the Bronx.
Okay.
Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Squitty,
Yes, 87.
me hear certain garbage I come out to certain people mouth on the social media platform. You know, sometimes me not really talk about them stuff because me know say what them attack cannot happen. Like the one Marvin who is threatening the Prime Minister and I sent threat to the local government minister, Desmond Mackenzie. Yeah?
Respect Nubian to the heart.
You see, Squitty, some people believe say they have 9 life like cat, you know. You understand? And me guarantee that you there. Say, him not really willing to lay down his life for the Jamaican people.
You know, say one turn Prime Minister?
One of the reasons why you see that guy on social media a shout all the time and be a vice to us is because when you start spoken on social media, nobody does see you. But it's when you, even if I know your character, Squitty, to be a vice to us and loud. You see, if you do it on social media, you get like and share till you fool. You get follower till you fool.
Me know.
And this guy,
don't love a bagger, man.
Yeah, man, this guy know that, man. You understand what I mean? So him just attack because nobody in Jamaica, none, whether groups or no groups, can take on the state and win. None. So when we hear certain garbage,
if the state I lose, other state I go join in and defend them.
But Squitty, when we hear certain garbage attack, we don't even pay it no mind sometime, brother. Come in and say whether they want to plan with Currie up a Maroon Town or whatever they want to do. Them cannot win.
Who is Currie? True, them might have some look gun up their hide. Who is Currie? Them think a long time if a Maroon and fight with Buana and I hide back and tie up 3 around them and I run on the British. A different time.
Squitty, me don't know how that the man there first L.A. Lewis to go up this to go lead. You understand what I mean? And a long time me hear L.A. Lewis I tell me say
no, L.A. Lewis is not no L.A. Lewis is not no leader. He is not no leader. He just inserts himself in our argument.
No. No, me never say L.A. Lewis is a leader, no. Me I say, okay. Me don't know how comes Currie first L.A. Lewis because none of them
because Currie is a plan. That's why Currie did it. You know, Currie come from some financial, used to work in some corporate business, you know. Do some corporate working. See that? So he used to work under one of them little man there. And then see they now he get one little spot pay run off. You know what I say? And that I cover for him. You know what I say? He's an agent man, he's a plant man. Don't follow back on them man there, you know. Currie's a fish swim round furthermore, you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah man. Yeah man. And Squitty, they will continue until them put themselves in a spot where they will go cry later. You know? And think,
I want to hear the Prime Minister answer him.
Me don't want the Prime Minister answer him, you know?
Yeah, but the Prime Minister have the answer where he must say, him don't want the place militarized. You don't want to see them up there.
No. Oh, Currie attack, me think of that. And I kill this boy they attack.
Nah man, I Currie me attack with him come out and say him no want him not take that for the Prime Minister, him no want him reject it. They don't want the place militarized with soldier.
Squitty me concern. And this is how me concern. Me no business about the adult them up there, you know. The adult them can dead film if them want, you know. Yeah? But remember when you do things, you have to, especially up a Maroon Town, you have to look out for the kids them, brother. You cannot sacrifice the kids them for your own selfish gain, brother. You understand me, I say, Squitty? Up there damage, you know, Squitty. It damage. And we know the kids
Them
up
say
there.
80% of the house them damage up there.
Exactly, Squitty.
And the Prime Minister go up there and say, well, we'll get the army to come build them, because you know the soldier then can build back the house them quick and fast.
Mm-hmm.
They want to get the money in their hand and equipment. What them are going to do with them, and they know how to use the equipment them.
But that can't work, Squitty. Them are deprived the youth, them are the opportunity that the state have for them, Squitty.
Because when the soldier up there work, you know, when the soldier up there work, the people them are going to work alongside the soldier them, you know.
Exactly. But Squitty, him say provide tarpaulin to cover the roof them and something. Squitty, but that the place they cold in a man. But that the place they cold in a man. And if you have the soldier them up there work, Squitty, yeah, and put them at the roof them fast as possible, that the kids them can get somewhere warm and comfortable to operate in, Squitty. Why this man up? Squitty, you know what this man remind me of?
Mark Golden.
No, Kevin Smith. When you don't want to go be a sacrifice the people them. Remember that pastor man?
Yeah, man. You might end up just like him.
Squitty, you see one 2021 article when it come out where them are torture people up a Maroon Town.
87. It's the why they rub off that brother that way you just mentioned, because in it it's a man like Epstein now, you know. But they know enough things about enough people, you know. So if him to linger around, you know, it would have been a next thing like Epstein, you know. But it's a Epstein nonetheless, you know, because well, if our people they go and mix and mingle with him, you know. So we just leave it right there, sir.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
make them rock.
Yeah, hold on, hold on. Okay, just hold on.
Yes, Squitty. And again, Squitty. And again. The Westmoreland people now go dictate to the government, you know. How the government or what the government must do with them in that swampland, you know, Squitty. Because at the end of the day, you know, Squitty, and we, the taxpayer, are going to pay every time if the government put them back in that swampland, you know.
Them
And
cannot go back
every time, you know. They cannot go back there, Squitty.
No.
They cannot go back there. And the member of parliament have to talk to these people, and if he love them and if he want to represent them, Squitty, tell them they have to move.
Hold on, me no cut you. Them the member of parliament want to keep them there to get them vote. That them around long enough.
But Squitty, that no smart. That no smart, Squitty.
Big up with it.
Because if the government say, all right then, we're going to left them, and tomorrow morning another storm come, another flood come, right? What will happen?
The government have to be responsible for him duty that brother. To take care of him citizens.
Don't even try, can I get too dirty?
The owner want to get taken care of, catch a flight and leave for go somewhere.
Exactly.
And leave Jamaica alone, make a prime minister run the country.
Oh, look here. Remember say in a parable, you know, a good captain always Squitty. Sorry, let me not be for cut the vibe, you know, but remember say a good captain always go down with him ship, you know.
Yeah.
So remember that, you know. So right now, Andrew, I captain for his ship, you know. Okay.
What doesn't make sense? Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened. My call dropped and I couldn't get back on. But what doesn't make sense? You cannot be a sovereign nation, and you don't want the services that is being offered, but you're gonna take the funding. It doesn't make sense. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Everything is a package. So Currie is just playing the fool of himself. Really.
And then inspiration, by right, if you a sovereign nation, you're not supposed to take nothing from a corporation, which is the government. You feel me?
Exactly.
If you should be self-sustainable. Exactly. So you should need no monetary funding from the government, no such none time at all. So, for say a generalship are going.
I think he's being advised by whoever, I don't know, but I don't think he's speaking for himself. He's speaking
So
under the.
when it comes on to money, there's always a second motive. There's never one, there's never two, but I'm gonna go with the second motive because look, if you come and bring all the material and fix the house, there's nothing is coming to me. But if you give me the money, I can spend it and still be able to make a profit from it. Okay? And to me, there is an ulterior motive for that. Because what reason would he have not to want the government to actually go ahead and fix the roof of the houses so that people can go back to their lives? Why would you want the money? What resource that you have or know of that you can get those houses up and running within at least a couple of months? How what you have going on is more efficient than what is being offered to you. So there is the conflict of interest there is that he have his own alternative motive and therefore he wants the money.
Because something up there hide. They have something hide up there.
Well, that could be true too. You never know. That could be true too. And maybe he don't want them up there because he figure they're gonna come digging for things and find things that they don't want. Yeah. There's all different kind of alternative motive. Yeah. There's all different kind of alternative motives, you know. So there's that also. But however, you know, when it comes on to, I'm gonna use the word indigenous, even though that they're not indigenous, because the word indigenous referred to like the American Indians and stuff like that.
There is no indigenous.
I know, but I'm just gonna use the word indigenous just to show that they are like the original people, are part of the original people, like during the whole the whole conflict with England and all of that. So it's part of Jamaica history. So they are, because here I've seen indigenous people where the government actually give them back some of the land that was taken from them. Yeah. And then they gave them certain exemption, like tax exemption. They gave them certain recognition and stuff like that. So they get to do with the land as they see fit, and they don't pay back taxes to the country and stuff like that. And maybe that's the kind of thing they're trying to establish there. And maybe they're trying to create a fund where they could use it to develop whatever it is that they want to develop there. But at the same time, under the indigenous land, there's the laws is still, because it's in the perimeter of the country, you have to abide by the law. Certain laws, yes, does not apply there. But the main laws, like harboring fugitive, harboring guns, doing certain things, it's against the law. And therefore, the federal government can go in and investigate these things, even though they have their own police force to handle domestic things. But anything that is above the federal government can go in and investigate these things. So whatever they're trying to establish there, it cannot be done in secret. They need to get permission, and the government, if they're going to get any kind of resource from them, has to agree and support that. So whatever it is that they're up to, it's not going to work. And I don't think the prime minister is going to hand over millions of dollars to them and say, okay, you go ahead. And no, they're not an island. They don't stand alone. They're part of Jamaica. They live within Jamaica. Yes, they're a community that based on cultural and historical, stuff, they're a little bit set apart, but they still have to abide by the law.
Of course. All right. What is it going to say? Where is it?
Good night. Good night.
My brother. Good night.
Panelists and to your listeners.
Yes, sir.
I want to touch on the development package that the country has received in the last few days.
Yeah.
it has shown the entire world that the country did not only receive the package only because we had a Category 5 hurricane. And I want to contextualize it by saying the country received the package because of fiscal prudence, meaning a country that is well run economically. This administration has run this country where it is that the books is balanced. And so therefore that is the reason why it was so very easy for all the multilaterals to come together at the behest of the IMF as the leading institution and come together to develop this package to this significant sum. Let me say this though. Kenya currently, one of the largest package that Kenya has received from the IMF, I think, was 4 billion United States dollars. And Kenya's population is 57 million people, 19 times Jamaica. And that is the largest package that they have ever received from the IMF. It shows you, as I said, this is not only the IMF, but it is led by the IMF. To the tune of what it is now. It shows us and the world that Jamaica is punching above its weight. And we must celebrate.
Quickly, 33 days after the hurricane.
Right. It shows us that right before the hurricane, the Prime Minister was in dialogue with the multilaterals, the institutions, the different heads of governments across the world, looking at the different modalities of what it is, if it is the probability of the Cat 5 actually decimating Jamaica, what is it that he would be looking at? And even in the immediate aftermath after the hurricane, the Prime Minister was, I don't need to hazard a guess, that the Prime Minister was using a sleepless night to really and truly having conversation with different heads of agencies and multilateral right across the entire globe to look after Jamaica's interests. But yet still, we had some shit in a plate people on social media to the Prime Minister. No driving in one vehicle, go down this, go give it 2 sardines and two old beef, as old people are saying. We had simple-minded people. I said the Prime Minister should have gone on this, go give it 2 600 milliliter bottle of water. So that's not the Prime Minister. I didn't hear that it's good.
I want to eat something.
No, so you don't have the country for run.
Yes, that's not the duty of the leader of the country. The leader of the country is to ensure that delegation is ensured by all the different ministries, departments, and agencies in the government operates as they should. And that it is that you would have had a Ministry of Labor and Security, Social Security, who would be one of the ministries who would have to help in the immediacy, even beforehand, by actually stocking the different areas with emergency stuff in the eventuality that such occurrence could happen. And they had did so. Let me say this to you, those quickly. I went on Dayton Campbell's page a little bit over a week ago, probably about 11 days ago. And I was amazed. I spent 1 hour on his page because I want to learn some things. And what I saw amazed me. 2 things very instructive, and I wanted to listen. Very important. I saw in under 48 hours after this hurricane exited Jamaica, Colonel Charles Jr. Go on his speech. Colonel Charles Jr. met with David Campbell and was handing out care packages. And look at what ensued in the weeks afterward. That the government was not helping the people down there in Westmoreland.
Yeah.
I don't want to focus on that. I want to keep it at the surface. I don't want to deep dive. Let me say this. Delegation. So all the different ministries had their work cut out. And as I said that, the Minister of Labour and Social Security had a very significant chunk of that. And he did it. And the ministry did their job. Now we don't want to stay on that. But let me say, Squitty, that, it shows Jamaica at this point in time with the capital and the funds that is at the country's, and let me say this, in Parliament a couple of days ago, the leader of the opposition was saying that this is nothing for Jamaica to celebrate. I was really appalled. I can't believe.
But you see, Fame MP, Isaac Buchanan, when him stand up for talk, him said something ought to be celebrated.
So that shows you truly.
Joshua John, coming out of the box.
My golden is suffering from something. Because really and truly, we have never in the history of this country have any kind. Let me say this quickly. Let me say this. When Andrew Holness lost the election in 28th of December 2011, you know what he did afterward? He worked hand in hand with the government to ensure that Jamaica is ready.
Quickly, me don't know my square enough. Can't go and pay. No, me jump up.
Yeah, man, jump up back. More bring in Joshua, respect.
So you know what he did? And I'm going to just wrap up. So you know what he did?
Yeah.
Andrew Wallace, Squitty, you never know, but we are going to tell you, we as labor rights, hardcore labor rights. You know, so sometimes they were in Parliament until 11 o'clock and Andrew Wallace was on his feet, contributing to ensure that we did all the legislative material put in place to ensure that Jamaica was able to get all those IMF structures right. Because guess what? He loved his country and he ensured that he worked hard, hand in hand with the government at the day. He was the opposition leader, but he never bad-mind Jamaica. Because he loved his country. He's a patriotic Jamaican. And he worked hand in hand with Peter Phillips and ensure that the country really stand and good. And now we're going to have an opposition leader in Malakoli is going to say that is nothing to celebrate. Well, let me say this with
and Jamaica go back in a dip and that put back Jamaica.